18 against National League teams. Shin-Soo Choo, Johnny Peralta, Ben Francisco starts in center field instead of Grady Sizemore. Luis Valbuena back there at shortstop. Kelly Shopek behind the plate, and Cliff Lee doing the pitching. Defensively for the Pirates, Morgan, McCutchen, and Moss, same three who started last night, and the same four who started last night on the infield: LaRoche, Wilson, and Sanchez, and Jason Jaramillo, with his first home run left-handed as a major leaguer, behind the plate.
Yep. Ross Ollendorf making his 15th start, 6-6 overall. That's good work for his first full season in the major leagues, but it's been a struggle recently for Ross. The month of June has net been kind, 1-1, but a very high ERA. So he had that run earlier, won 5 out of 6, but he's dropped 3 of his last 4. 2 starts ago, good work against the Detroit Tigers.
And Ollendorf delivers the first pitch of the ball game to Carroll, and it is a bit low. And just as the ball game starts, we are noticing some precipitation. Even heard some lightning earlier, or heard some thunder, saw some lightning. I guess you can hear lightning if you're close enough.
Oh, darn right you can.
Sizzles a little bit. 86 degrees at game time. It was well over 90 today, and pretty humid. And following the humidity is now the precipitation.
But you know what? Hot summer night, Major League Baseball, Major League City. Nothing like it. People still streaming across the bridge. You're going to have a good crowd here to watch the Bucks and the Indians tonight. Summertime, baseball time.
Still plenty of blue skies up above, which makes this light rain a little odd.
Yeah, and a bright sky for Ross Ollendorf, because you mentioned Grady Sizemore not in the middle of this lineup. That takes a lot of the teeth out of the batting order for the Cleveland Indians. No guarantee that that's going to make it a whole lot easier. It never is a guarantee, but trust me, you talk to a starting pitcher, the big man's out of the lineup. That's okay with him. It's okay for Ross Ollendorf.
The 2-2 is hit to right field. Backing up on it is Moss, and he's got it for the first out of the ball game. And Nigel Morgan gave us a pretty good show last night when he was mic'd up. It was kind of the Nigel Morgan show, and he's always taking time out for fun, a little frisbee action with the parrot.
Does anybody have more fun playing baseball than Nigel? I don't think so.
Let's see. Oh, little belly bump. And now McCutchen getting into the action. Well, this is supposed to be fun, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They say play ball, not work ball. How about that outfield? Morgan, McCutchen, and the parrot.
Well,
you talk about speed.
Yeah, they'd be able to carry 2/3 of that outfield around there. This one to the right side, and that one is out of play. Mark DeRosa, the number 2 hitter. You mentioned Grady Sizemore out of the lineup, and Sizemore just came off the disabled list, and when he wasn't sent out to rehab, that limits his playing time a little bit up here as he tries to get back to full strength. He had an elbow issue, so they're monitoring him, and he will not start. No guarantee he'll play. He might, this being in a National League ballpark with pinch hitters and so on and so forth, there's a good chance he'll get in at bat, but not in the lineup defensively, and he's very good out there. 1-2 pitch. And this one, a slow roller down to short. Jack Wilson. Toss to first, 2 away.
One thing we'll keep track of, too, during the early part of the ball game, hopefully later on, Ross Ollendorf, we hope he stays around for a good bit of this ball game. Some home run issues. He's started 14 games. He's given up 13 home runs. So important for Ross to keep the ball in the ballpark. And there again, you go back to Grady Sizemore, because Grady Sizemore can hit the ball over the fence.
And he did last night in the 9th inning. And the Indians had a 5-run 9th to make it a 10-6 ball game. It was 10-1 with 2 outs and 2 strikes. And they came all the way back to get 5 runs after that. Victor Martinez with a shift on, goes the other way, and he's got himself a 2-out single. Victor Martinez, pretty sweet swing on the baseball.
Oh yeah, just back it up with the numbers he's posted so far this year. Nothing out of character for this at bat for Victor Martinez. He can hit.
So the infield back to its normal self. They'll put 3 on the right side. They'll have just a shortstop on the left, and then One playing up the middle, one playing deep second, and then LaRoche at first whenever Martinez is up hitting left-handed.
Yeah, we couldn't find Andy LaRoche the other night because he was in between our shortstop and second baseman. He was the third baseman in between the shortstop and second baseman. We didn't know where he was.
Shin-Soo Choo takes a fastball inside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And even if Jerry Lane, by the way, back home plate.
I was going to say, just a little scoring tidbit. If LaRoche plays in between Wilson and Sanchez and gets a ground ball and throws a guy out, it's still a 5-3. There's one into the right center field gap. Brandon Moss coming up with it. He's going to hold Martinez at second base. Good throw.
And nice cutoff, because if he doesn't do a clean job out there in right center field, Martinez is going to be able to coast into third base. But he got over, took it on the short hop, got rid of it quickly, and saved the Pirates 90 feet.
A 2 on and 2 out.
There's the pick on the short hop. And there's the good, quick, strong throw. 2 outs, nothing for Martinez to hang around for, and he's thinking about going, but wisely shuts that part down.
Johnny Peralta at the plate. Been widely talked about in the Cleveland media about his feud with manager Eric Wedge. He's trying to overcome the major distraction, or was probably a major distraction at one point. It's sort of calmed down now. He wants to play shortstop, and he has made it quite clear.
I want a pony for Christmas, too.
Yeah. And he's playing third base instead of short. What kind would you like, Steve?
I don't know. You know why? Because it's like him saying, I want to play a different position, but I want to stay in the big league. So I want a pony. I don't care what kind it is.
He's even mentioned if he goes and plays for a different team, and that has caused a big uproar. He said, maybe I can play shortstop for a different team. And he and Eric Wedge have had meetings about it in the past. Little roller down to the left side. Andy LaRoche up with it. He throws out Peralta, and that's the inning. Indians strand 2, no score. Bucks coming to bat at PNC Park.
Could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO.
Nice warm night at PNC Park. Andrew McCutcheon getting set to lead off the bottom of the first inning. No score. He'll face Cliff Lee, 30-year-old from Benton, Arkansas, out of the University of 2008 American League Cy Young Award winner. His first pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strike.
4-6 this year, but an ERA under 3. A shutout 2 starts ago against the Cardinals. And for real, last year 22-3. It just doesn't get much better, and not a bolt out of the blue either. Before he hurt himself, winning seasons of 14, 18, and 14, 2004, 5, and 6, and then the physical problems, 2007. But you got it all figured out last year, 22-3.
2-1 pitch to McCutchen, and this one is lined right at the second baseman. Jamie Carroll one away quickly. John Russell's Buccos line up this way. Brought to you by PNC. McCutchen, you just saw him. Niger Morgan hitting in the 2 spot. Freddie Sanchez, number 3. Adam LaRoche has homered in back-to-back nights. Andy LaRoche. And then Brandon Moss in his last 4 games, 6 for 9. A walk, 4 doubles, and 5 runs batted in. Jaramillo Wilson and Ollendorf.
By the way, that first play, McCutchen hitting the ball right on the button, but right to the second baseman, Jamie Carroll, and the pitch to Niger. The reason I bring that up, that's positioning. That's very good scouting, and Andrew McCutchen probably wasn't victimized by that kind of defensive positioning in the minor leagues, but he'll see it here as well as some adjustment by major league pitchers.
And you bring up a great point. One thing that Pirates infield coach Perry Hill talks about all the time is positioning, and he has a phrase that says range is positioning. If you're within range, it's because of where you've been positioned. If Jamie Carroll is playing deep second base with the leadoff man in the first inning instead of over toward second, shading toward second, in fact, where you see him now, he was a little bit more over to the right-handed hitter McCutchen. He was right in position to have the range to go and make that play.
Yeah. Positioning has already created range for you.
2-1.
And before it really got sophisticated and a lot of technology, one of the best guys, when you mention that whole subject, that comes to mind is Dick Groat. Dick Groat, maybe not the fastest guy in the world, but he had great baseball instincts. He was always seemed to be positioned well where they're going to hit the ball. And Dick Groat was very well known for being in the right place at the right time against the right batter in the right situation.
And that's probably why Dick Groat was involved in 877 double plays. 3-2 pitch on the ground of Valbuena, the shortstop. He bobbles it, and Morgan's aboard.
E6. And you can add something to that double play total by the number of outs he got. Just plain old 6-3 outs by being in the right spot. Dick Groat was an outstanding defensive player along with a batting champion. And here's a shortstop that doesn't get the play done and puts some Pirate speed at first base.
Valbuena knew that Morgan could get down the line well, especially coming out of that left-hand batter's box, and looked like he tried to take a ball that wasn't in his glove out of his glove.
And when you get a major pitcher like this, and this is what you're talking about with Cliff Lee, you might think about trying to press a little bit. You don't know how much hitting you're going to do, so you wonder about the Pirates' possible running game tonight.
Lee delivers outside to Sanchez.
Of course, Cliff Lee, a left-hander, he's got a direct look at base runners. But it still comes down to that old equation many times. If you guess right, the guy's already made up his mind to go to home plate. You can steal that base by leaving early.
1-0. Down to short. Valbuena gets one there. That's all they're going to get. Sanchez aboard on the fielder's choice. There are 2 down. It's time to check out Steve's Tips to Win, presented by Rivers Casino, opening August 9th.
Well, yeah, you got to double down here. You got you got to get on Cliff Lee, get him early, and your defense all in. They were all in last night. Spectacular plays made by the shortstop, second baseman, Wilson, Sanchez. Nothing new. Yeah, when you want to win, you want your defense all in.
Adam LaRoche with 2 down. He will take a strike. Again, you look at Cliff Lee, his 22 wins that you talked about, Steve, led the American League in wins, led it in ERA as well, 2.54 last year. But he was also the last guy to get close to 22 wins in a long time. In fact, the most wins by a Cleveland left-hander has been 23, and it was done by Veen Gregg back in 1911.
Remember the year he had, man. It was spectacular. I was an Indians fan.
1911. Were you rooting for the Cowboys that year?
No. Oh, tried and true Indians fan.
0-2 pitch. And this one slowly hit down to Jamie Carroll. And LaRoche is out. Pirates will leave one on. We're through an inning. And there is no score. Defeated the Padres 11-3 at Jack Murphy Stadium. That's tonight's legendary performance, sponsored by Cabot Woodstand.
The Big Cat, Andres Galarraga.
You know, Colorado doesn't have a number retired, but I get the feeling he may be the first guy when they decide they're going to retire a number. They're still a baby of a franchise. Ben Francisco leads off against Ross Ohlendorf, takes a strike.
Didn't see him in the first two games in the starting lineup, but with Grady Sizemore out, he is in with his speed. 10 stolen bases and 11 tries, but there's a chance for the Pirates on this one.
Jack Wilson retires him. So Francisco, who appeared as a pinch hitter and reached on an error last night, is now 0 for 2 in the last 2 ball games.
That's the traditional angle that you want taken on that kind of a high pop foul down the left field line. It's an easier angle for the shortstop than the third baseman, who is going straight back. Shortstop angles over. It's his play, and Jack makes it.
Luis Valbuena, shortstop, takes a strike on the outside corner. So far, and I know it's early, Steve, but we've seen Ohlendorf get calls in the inside corner and on the outside corner, so he seems to be moving the ball around some.
Well, that's what you want as a pitcher. You want to get him both sides of the plate if you can. You're in dreamland there. Many times you'll have to settle for just perhaps getting a little preferential treatment on one side of the plate. If you can get it working on both, you're in business.
Down the line to left, and that one is foul.
We've talked about Ross Ohlendorf and his little reset. Here's the start of the windup right here. Got the sign, ready to go. And then the hesitation, the reset. And he says it's just a rhythm thing, just feels smooth, even though it's a stop and start. If he feels good about it, then keep on trucking.
1-2 pitch. He got him. Strike 3. You know, you talk about that motion. That's not a motion that you necessarily see from pitchers from North America.
Yeah.
You see that more from Japan. The Asian pitchers will typically have a stop and start like that.
Oh, yeah. Hideo Nomo was one of the real prototypes. He'd go straight up. You thought he was going to pop the buttons on his belt, stop at the top, and he did okay. Won a lot of games, had a no-hit, no-run game in the big leagues. No. It's like the grip on a curveball. There's so many different grips on a curveball, more so than on any other pitch. Comes down what works best for you, and you got to find that out as early in your life as you can.
Kelly Shoppach just under the Mendoza line.
Poor Mario. What a good player he was. He'll always be remembered for the flat 200 batting average. The Mendoza line.
It's a line of
Pirate.
Yeah, line of demarcation in baseball. You're either over it or you're not. 199. He's not. Kelly Shopik last night homered in the 9th inning. There were 2 home runs off of Steven Jackson. And the unfortunate thing for Jackson in the 9th last night was he got the first 2 men to pop out. He got Mark DeRosa to fly to right, Johnny Peralta to fly to left, then went to 2 strikes on a pinch hitter. Wasn't a pinch hitter, he was in the game at that point, Josh Barfield. So 1 strike away, and then he gets a base hit, and Shopik homers. Then Francisco would reach on an error, Jamie Carroll reached on an error, and Grady Sizemore hit a 3-run home run before Jimenez would walk, and then Sean Burnett would come on to induce a ground ball out to Shinsu Chu to end the ball game.
Yes, and it was anticipated. came much too late, but it got there.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the Cleveland catcher Kelly Shopik. The pitch fouled away. Well, some games involving teams in the Central earlier today. The Mets beat the Cardinals 3-2. Minnesota beats Milwaukee 6-4. And Houston hung on at home to beat the Kansas City Royals 5-4.
Just for you history buffs, Mario Mendoza played for the Pirates from 74 to 78. Slick fielding shortstop.
See the standings now. Milwaukee a game behind St. Louis. Chicago's now a game closer to Cincinnati. Cincinnati a 4 spot in the first inning at Toronto. They're in action now in Canada. And Bronson Arroyo got roughed up in Toronto.
Well, he has had a little history of getting roughed up against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, the funny thing was, it was 1 year to the day. He goes up there again north of the border and gives up 3 long balls in the first inning.
What was it, an inning and a third the other time? Gave up 10 runs? Inning and a third?
Just shouldn't pitch him in Canada. 3-2 pitch, low and outside, and Shopik is aboard, a 2-out walk.
Canadian sunset.
Maybe it's the exchange rate. It doesn't match up with his ERA or something. I'm not sure.
Didn't have his papers in order when he went over the border.
So for 2 straight innings, Ross Ollendorf has been able to retire the first 2 batters and then let a man reach. And here is Cliff Lee, the pitcher. Lee has had 2 at-bats so far this season. He is 0 for 2. But he's had more than that in terms of plate appearances. He's had 2 successful sacrifices.
But doesn't have that cushion right here with 2 outs.
No. And this one is fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cliff Lee.
I had a chance to interview Cliff Lee last night. Get a chance to talk to him. Interesting, bright, articulate young man. We're going to play that on Greats of the Game before the game Sunday afternoon against the Royals. Pre-game show.
1-1. Lee takes a strike on the inside.
Be on the Pirates Radio Network.
Well, I guess if you win a Cy Young, you could be considered one of the greats in the game because only 1 guy wins that a year.
All right. I couldn't reach Cy, so I took the next best. Yeah. Cy Young winner.
And what a season he had. Out of Benton, Arkansas, out of the University of Arkansas, he is not the only former Razorback in the stadium tonight. For the Pirates, Eric Hinsky. There's about 4 or 5 different Arkansas Razorbacks playing the big leagues right now.
Eric.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as he strikes out 2 in the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd.
Foster Mattress. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day.
One of our camera guys off tonight, Keith Reese. Hey, look, we're in the front row. Now he's on the other side of the camera. This day in Pirates history, June 25th, 1950. Ralph Kiner hit for the cycle, including hitting 2 home runs, and he drove in 8 in a 16-11 win at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn against the Dodgers.
Ralph showing some speed.
Yeah.
Triple. Part of that package. Hall of Famer.
It was nice to bump into him, albeit briefly, at Citi Field in New York in the press room before one of the games. Our director, Jeff Mitchell, used to work with him quite a bit when Jeff was working with the Mets. 107 years ago or so, whatever that was. But Ralph Kiner is certainly one of the classics in baseball.
Kiner's Corner, a classic post-game show at Shea Stadium. I was on it a couple times. I won't say who it was, but he had one of our pitchers and catchers after a Pirate win go in and say, hey, come on in and be on Kiner's Corner. They went in togas. I guess, it's good fun. It was Don Schwall and Jim Pagliarone. They had a good time. And I'm sure Ralph had a good time with it, too. But that's when, if you were on Ralph's show, you'd get a $50 bill. Back in the day, that would get you a nice dinner in Manhattan. Now it won't get you to Manhattan.
No, unless you're taking the subway. Down to third, Johnny Peralta throws out Andy LaRoche. One out. At the advent of cable TV, and when I was a kid, all of a sudden we get this box on top of our TV. This was before all the telecasts were regulated the way they are now. But we had on cable, we had the Mets games.
Yeah.
Yankees, Braves, Cubs, the Expos en français. Un bol Dupuis, Warren Cromartie, le lanceur ce soir, Steve Rogers. So you learn your French by watching baseball. But you get all these teams. And it was neat to watch the Mets and Ralph Kiner when he was broadcasting the games and really got a good education on who all the broadcasters were, who were former players. And it was fun to watch Ralph and listen to Ralph. They had some classic guys, too. Lindsey Nelson, a Hall of Famer. Brandon Moss swings through that one. No balls and 2 strikes.
Rob Murphy, one of the nicest men you'd ever want to meet. He was there. I think he and Ralph were there from the very beginning.
Bob Murphy would always say, welcome to Shea Stadium under azure blue skies. 0-2. That's up and in.
Well, we used to, in Connecticut, in the rural area I was with, we got Pee Wee Reese and Dizzy Dean. He slid into second.
Slud. S-L-U-D. Past tense of slide. Broken bat, Looper. Valbuena puts it away. And there are 2 down. Jason Jaramillo coming to the plate. He now has a home run from each side of the plate. Hit his first one right-handed off Johan Santana. And last night his first left-handed. Went up over the Clemente wall.
Just go over that Consal sign.
He hammered that one, too.
Yeah. Right on the button.
Batting right-handed tonight against the lefty Cliff Lee.
And don't let Mr. Lee get too comfortable, because he can flat out run the table on you. As we said, I think a couple starts ago, shut out the St. Louis Cardinals in minus timeout. There's no decision against the White Sox. 7 innings, just 3 runs given up. So he's pitched well his last 2 starts.
One ball, 1 strike to Jaramillo. Lee into the wind. That's in the dirt. Looking for some more power. Pirates have found a little bit of it after a streak where they went 7 straight games without a home run. Adam LaRoche has homered in each of his last 2, and Jaramillo.
This nice little stat down here. A bunch of long balls. Last 12 games, averaging a home run a game.
Jaramillo hangs alive there. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I asked Cliff Lee, and I'm going to hear it again Sunday. I asked him about, he got drafted twice without signing. I think Florida drafted him, and then Baltimore drafted him, and he passed that up, and then eventually signed with the Montreal Expos before coming down to pitch for Cleveland. That's risky. if you get hurt, that could cost you a career, some money.
And this one ripped down the left field line, foul.
Yep. And he said, yeah, there is some risk if you wait around, turn it down consecutive years. I'm sure you get a little anxious, but he really emphasized the value he put on his education that he got by turning down the pro contracts the first 2 times he had the opportunity to sign. Certainly has worked out well for him.
He came out of junior college first and then went to a 4-year school. And there is strike 3 called. And 1, 2, 3 they go in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Cliff Lee is clean through 2. Rotation has been adjusted. Now Virgil Vasquez is on his way to Pittsburgh now. He'll make his 4th big league start against Gil Mesh tomorrow. So Vasquez, who almost made this club out of spring training, will get the start. Paul Maholm will pitch against a to-be-determined Royals pitcher on Saturday. And Zach Greinke now will face Charlie Morton on Sunday. Morton has his start tomorrow pushed back to Sunday, just giving him another 2 days to rest that left hamstring. And he figures to be ready to go on Sunday. So that's the updated rotation for the Pirates. Jamie Carroll at the plate, takes ball 2.
The whole Ian Snell situation, and I think it's so important for Ian to realize that if and when he gets recalled, it's not going to be based on wins and losses. It's not going to be based on dominance against AAA pitchers. It's going to be based on him learning how to pitch more. We've talked chapter and verse. You probably heard statements along those very lines, but the actual numbers are going to be secondary to what he does in given situations. Shortening pitch counts, being more consistent with his location, finishing batters off when he gets out in front because he has the stuff to do it, and perhaps even coming back even to first pitches and giving at bats to set up the at bat properly. And, you can't just do that by throwing a strike. You want quality strikes on that first pitch. It doesn't set up every at bat by what you do on the first pitch, but it's a bunch of them, high percentage.
Second,
he's got to be better at all that stuff.
I was going to say, second hit of the series for Jamie Carroll, leadoff single there. And talking with Neil Huntington before the game tonight about Ian and his situation, they need to get him an opportunity where he can be consistent again. He's got to make some adjustments in his approach on the mound.
He's got to pitch better.
Throw down to first base, and Carroll is back. And unfortunately for Ian, there were a lot of times this year where we would see him go 0-2 on a hitter, and the next thing you know, it's 3-2. He's trying to paint a corner, can't get it, and a lot of pitches. In the game in Milwaukee, he threw 131 pitches. 50 pitches in the third inning the other day. So just as a result, he'd wear himself down early. And they want him to really concentrate, as you were talking about, Steve, throw first pitch strikes, and not just first pitch strikes down the middle, as you were talking about, but smart strikes. Get ahead of the hitter instead of consistently being behind. Throw over to first base, and Carroll back. What a close play there, but Carroll just got the right hand in there. Jamie Carroll out of Indianapolis, that area. He's a big Colts fan. Mark DeRosa, the right fielder, a 1-ball, no strike count. The pitch from Ollendorf down to third. LaRoche to Sanchez. Double play, number 81.
Yeah, and nice job by LaRoche. And Andy had to give up a step. He had to take a step, and that created a situation where Freddie Sanchez knew he was going to take a hit at second base. Didn't give up on the ground, didn't give up on the play, and took the hit and made the play. He knows he's going to take a shot. That's nice.
Nice job on the crow hop, getting out of the way. So now the shift is back on. Jack Wilson will play in the middle. Andy LaRoche is out at shortstop. Third base wide open for Victor Martinez. This is how they'll play him when he bats left-handed. He's a switch hitter. And his last time up, he tried to go the other way and got it out over short into shallow left for a base hit. Martinez 1 for 1, one of the better batting averages in the American League. 326, although he has struggled against National League teams. He got his first hit against the National League team this year. He's 1 out of 19.
Well, with that being said, it's nice to have him up there in a 2-out situation. 2 outs, nobody on.
He'll take low. 2 balls and no strikes. Martinez in the first game of this series was behind the plate. Last night moved out to first base and is back there again tonight. 2-0. And Ollendorf falling behind with 2 outs, as he did in the first inning and as he did in the second inning. Ollendorf has been able to keep the number at 0. And the 3-0 is hit high in the air, deep to right field. If this one is fair, it's gone, and it is foul.
You know, and with all that hang time, you had to wait to get your decision. That ball was in the air a long, long time. It ended up being a foul ball, and we talked about Ross struggling to a degree, to a high degree, with home runs, and this one just had enough time to hook foul. Everybody watching. Everybody watching that big yellow foul pole. Everybody in the ballpark.
Right down through the walkway. Touchdown, he said. Field goal's good.
Yep.
3-1 pitch now. And that is ball 4. 2-out walk. Second inning in a row, he's issued a 2-out walk. Now the batter will be Shin-Soo Choo, who got a base hit in the first inning.
Last time out for Ross Ollendorf, mentioned at Colorado, he lost. He went 5 innings, giving up 6 earned runs. Didn't walk anybody. We also mentioned the start before that was a good one against Detroit. 6 innings, giving up just 1 run, got the win. But that is his really best performance in the month of June. The first 4 starts. So far, so good tonight.
Choo hits one to the right center field gap that's going to roll and get to the wall. Martinez is going to round third and heading to third, but now stopping is Choo. It is 1-0 Cleveland. A 2-out RBI double. Shin-Soo Choo is 12th double of the year.
And with a big crowd here and a lot of people from Cleveland, that's not a boo you hear, that's a chew from the Cleveland faithful that made it down the turnpike. So the 2-out walk hurts Ross Ollendorf as the Indians turned it into the first run of the ballgame.
Just drilled it.
caught the gap. 2 outs, nothing for Victor Martinez to hang around for. Takes off with contact, scores easily.
One man is in the top of the 3rd inning. And the breaking ball is in there for a strike too.
And you don't want to give Cliff Lee too much offensive support, because you don't figure to get a whole lot. To beat a guy like Cliff Lee, you've got to outpitch him, you got to out defense him, and you got to take advantage and cash in any opportunity that you might get.
To left field, Niger Morgan floats underneath it, and that'll end the inning. But the damage done, a walk and a double, and Ohlendorf has given up a run. Line from the best ballpark in America right after the game. Get to the game early for Heritage Day festivities on Federal Street, which includes live music, food, and a beer garden. A great festive atmosphere. Make sure you're here Saturday. For tickets, visit pirates.com. Steve Blass, I'm Tim Never. Jack Wilson leads things off in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Pirates trailing the Tribe 1-0. Cliff Lee has held the Pirates hitless through the early stage of the game. And Jack Wilson trying to change that. He'll be followed by Ross Ohlendorf. Then the Pirates will turn the order over to the top and Andrew McCutcheon.
These are subtle little things here, Tim, that you want to see if you can get Jack Wilson on the base so you can bunt him over, take a chance on just manufacturing a run. 2-1 count now. I thought for a while it was 3-0, but 2-1. Get Jack Wilson on, bunt him over, get yourself a cheap run, get yourself back to even, and go about your business.
3-1. So pitch away from putting Jack on.
And think of this, it's not going to be easy. Cliff Lee last year, consider this in his great year, 31 starts, 34 free passes. Just a little bit over 1 a game.
And it is now 3-2.
And Jerry Lane barking out the balls and strikes. Crew chief behind home plate. Tony Randazzo, Chris Guccione, Mike Winters, fellow umpires around the base paths.
Now stay 3-2 to Jack Wilson. Yeah, you talk about those walks to starts. You know, how many of those starts did he not issue a walk in, as compared to, you know, maybe a game where he had 2 or maybe 3.
A lot of zeros in those free pass categories.
Became very dependable. More than dependable. 3-2. Lifted foul and out of play on the right side over the first base dugout.
That's always a key. When you see a pitcher with a good year, chances are, unless he's just a real extreme flamethrower, he's going to have a real good number, an impressive number with the number of free passes allowed. It's going to be a low number. That goes right along with a good year.
That's off his glove and up the middle.
Okay, we got business.
So Wilson It's the first hit of the game for the Pirates. He is aboard, and Ohlendorf will be charged with the task of bunting him to second.
He's been successful once so far. Wow, Cliff Lee was concerned about his head, and got enough steam on that ball to bounce off the glove and get into center field.
Good look at that play from our Southwest field cam. Now Ohlendorf with the corners drawn in as Peralta comes way in at third. Ohlendorf and pitching coach Joe Kerrigan having their customary meeting between innings.
I'm not sure what he's talking to him about it, but pretty emphatic about it. That was pretty much a one-way conversation.
Strike two.
Not a couple of good bunt attempts. Kind of jabbing at the ball.
Well, oftentimes with the game plan, they have pitches they're going to throw on certain counts to hitters, and you never know. Maybe the game plan didn't get followed the way that it was set up in the meeting room before the game. And Joe reminding him of that, perhaps. Who knows? It's possible that could be what they were discussing. Took strike three.
That wasn't his best effort.
FSN is teaming up with Pirates Charities to host a live auction on Tuesday night. That's Tuesday night. You can bid on great items like a Chicago road trip to see the Bucks, an opportunity to run in the Great Pierogi Race, and more. Remember, it's all about the kids when you place your generous bid on Tuesday, June 30th. That's this Tuesday. If you get a chance at that Chicago road trip, let me suggest you get that one.
Take it. Now, the other side of that equation, be careful what you wish for if you get to race as a pro. That's a long way from third base around to the right field foul line. Trust me. That is a long, long trip.
It's about as long as the Belmont Stakes. McCutchen takes low, 2-0. In Chicago, where the team stays, is right near the Magnificent Mile, which is
and
all
Rush
those,
Street.
Yeah, that's on the other side of it.
If you got any money left for the Miracle Mile, you can
yeah.
get rid of it on Rush Street. Trust me.
It's the Gold Coast area of Chicago. It is a great area,
great neighborhood, right on the lake.
And you got to kill a few hours during the day, so it's nice to walk around there. Great town. 2-1 now to Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen lined out to the second baseman Jamie Carroll, and with one out, Carroll pinching the bag at second base. He and Valbuena playing close to the base.
Yeah, of course, that's where Carroll was when Andrew McCutchen blistered the ball to him in the bottom of the first inning, positioned perfectly.
The 2-1 from Cliff Lee has to wait. McCutchen wants time as Lee was very deliberate on the mound. Wasn't in any rush. I think he was waiting to see if Jack Wilson was going to lean one way or another. One out and one on for the Bucks. Bottom of the third. They trail 1-0. And McCutchen hits this one to the left side and just barely retired at second as Jack Wilson. Valbuena made a good play, taking a hit away from McCutchen.
If he keeps doing that, Peralta's going to stay at third base. Trust me. That's a real good play. That's like one of those publicity shots of a quarterback in college with a jump pass. There he goes. That's a top-notch play, an important play, because they got no business over at first base with McCutchen running, and they got the only out that was available. Good play. So the Indians have done a good job. They prevented Ohlendorf, for one reason or another, from advancing the runner. And people will say, well, gee whiz, if Jack Wilson was at second base, they wouldn't get McCutchen. But who knows if McCutchen is going to hit the ball the same way. 99% chance that he's not. So you can't speculate backwards in baseball. Just a good above average play by Valbuena.
It'll be interesting to see if McCutchen runs on the lefty Lee here.
Well, I would think as the game goes along, if it stays tight and the Indians are out in front, eventually you're going to have to press a little bit. But it's still early.
1-1 to Niger Morgan. Morgan reached on an error by Luis Valbuena at shortstop in the first inning, and then was forced out on a ground ball hit by Freddie Sanchez.
Morgan got a base hit off, what was it, David Huff, first game of the series, a left-hander. He's been struggling against lefties, so that was good to see.
There goes McCutchen, and this one popped up. Peralta will take care of it, and that'll do it for the Bucks. They leave a man aboard through 3 full. It's the Indians 1 and the Pirates nothing. States in the All-Star Futures game in St. Louis, July 12th. Alvarez had another home run today in the game.
Second for the Curve.
A home run and a double, and Brad Lincoln in Indy was spectacular, going 6 2/3 last night. Pitching tremendous baseball in his first outing in AAA. Ben Francisco will lead off the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 Tribe.
All part of the Pirates' philosophy. They want to stock the pipeline on the way to Pittsburgh. They want to stock the pipeline all the way up, all the way down the minor league system. That's important. You plan for a lot of years, not just one spectacular year, and keep it coming.
Popped him up. And Andy LaRoche retires Ben Francisco. 1 down. Time for tonight's Aflac trivia question. Here is the Duck with the question to follow. Which 4 current Pirates have participated in an All-Star Futures game?
I'm going to write down my guesses.
It's a good question. Which 4 current Pirates have participated in an All-Star Futures game? Luis Valbuena will take a strike. Let's see. I will give you this. All 4 of them are in the ballpark tonight. To the right side, Adam LaRoche takes care of Valbuena. 2 down.
They've got 2 selections.
Just kind of narrowed it down for you, Steve.
Yeah. Okay. I'm working.
Kelly Shopik, second time around. He walked first time up. 199. 6 homers. Hit his 6th of the year last night in the 9th inning. Right now the wind is blowing out to left. It could be good for right-handed hitters tonight as a breeze is starting to pick up in downtown Pittsburgh. Strike called on the inside corner.
I got my picks. I've got McCutchen, Mahalam, Snell, and Moss.
Nope.
Nope.
I either got to give you all of them or none of them. I'm not going to say that you have some right or some wrong, because you probably do, but you don't have all.
Well, okay, if you want to have that attitude, I'm going to write down all the Pirates that are here in the dugout.
No, we'll give you the answer in the bottom of the inning.
Fair enough.
But you had, I will tell you this, you had a couple of them.
Okay.
But you missed a couple of them.
That would be a treat in the minor leagues to come up and do that.
Chin music backs him up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kelly Shoppach getting a shave.
Just like horseshoes, you got a leaner.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Inside again on Shoppach.
Another leaner. And certainly not a fastball, so he had time to adjust his position. Got out in front of a slider or something.
Looked like it just got away from him. Right off the release. See, that just kind of kept going up.
Many times that'll happen if you get the body out in front. No way the arm can catch up and come up high and inside to a right-hand batter.
Two balls and 2 strikes. The wind's starting to make its presence known now. Hopefully there's not much weather behind it. 2-2 pitch. Again, he fouls it away.
Wow, how about that follow through by Ross Ohlendorf? Lost his footing. Awkward look as he released that pitch. Check it out. That front foot just slipped, gave way a little bit. We'll work on the cleat cleaner back of the pitching rubber. A lot of stuff back there now. They got a cleat cleaner. They got the initial P embossed on there. You got a rosin bag. All kind of stuff going on.
A lot of gear.
Used to be you just had a tongue depressor back here.
With a piece of tape around the bottom of the handle, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty high tech there as far as when you were pitching, huh?
Yeah, I want one of those for my golf shoes.
3-2. And Shoppach waits. Here's the payoff pitch from Ohlendorf.
Another good off-speed pitch. Yep, times have changed. You got all that stuff around the pitcher's mound. The trainer's room was a little different. I used to go in. Tony Bartolome, our trainer, would say, "Hey, go see your family doctor. Get out here." Look at that! Look at that in the on-deck circle.
Looks like a surgeon's table. All that stuff. And he's a pitcher. What does he need it for?
Because pitchers trying to hit need all the help they can get.
3-2 delivery.
My favorite the other night was, I think it was David Huff. I don't know if he's ever had a professional at bat, and he's a switch hitter.
Yeah. How would he know?
How does he know?
Yeah. Pitcher in the American League his whole time, and the
college stuff.
College pitchers don't hit. Yeah, you brought that point up on radio, and I had to laugh. I said, you know, you're exactly right. How would he know if he's a switch hitter or not? And this one is hit high and deep to left. And this one is going foul. Had enough distance. It started to bank left.
You know, the interesting thing about David Huff, left-hand pitcher, okay, so he's batting against, let me take a look at this replay of the long foul ball. You got to picture the fact that he's a left-hand pitcher up there, so he's hitting left-handed against a right-hand pitcher, so he's fine there because his pitching arm is backwards. But what if the Pirates bought in a lefty? He's a switch hitter. Is he going to turn around and expose that pitching arm even though he doesn't know what he's doing for injury?
And the long at bat ends in the glove of Andy LaRoche.
Yeah, thank you. Got rid of that discussion.
1-0 Tribe. gave you our Aflac question on the top of the fourth. And the question, which 4 current Pirates have participated in an All-Star Futures game? The answer, you were half right, Steve. Sean Burnett, Paul Maholm, Steve Pearce, and Andrew McCutchen.
Well, no surprise, Steve Pearce in 2007 with that monster year he had coming up through the Pirate organization. Should have known that. Didn't.
You knew it. It just wasn't in the front of your mind.
No,
somewhere else.
There's so much clutter there.
Freddie Sanchez takes a strike. Freddie reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, 0 for 1.
Just 1 hit against Cliff Lee the first 3 innings. Don't count on too many home runs off Cliff Lee. He's had 15 starts and he's given up just 7. There have been years where he gave up the long ball. 2004 when he won 14, he gave up 30 home runs in 33 starts, but he's gotten better. Last year just 12 in 31 starts.
2-1 now to Freddie. Freddie, a .352 career hitter against left-handed pitching. Loves the lefties. Two and 2. I've often wondered if Freddie's strike zone is the same as the home plate umpires.
Freddie's strike zone is to be determined.
Reaches for that one, taps it down to Peralta. And there is 1 down. Let's open up tonight's Geico quote book. Adam LaRoche. I was still having some at-bats where I was in and out of the at-bat. And now it's coming together a little more. I felt better before, but I'm definitely a lot closer than I was. That's tonight's Geico quote.
So, in other words, he's gaining on it. Not there yet, but he's gaining on it.
He is homered in each of the last 2 ball games. 0 for 1 tonight. A ground out to Jamie Carroll at second base, and 0-1 to count to Adam LaRoche. And our Bridgestone Firestone stat. National League leaders in batting average in June. Sandoval 3rd, Derek Lee 4th. And there is Adam LaRoche in the 5th spot, hitting .357 in the month of June.
Tim, I got to believe we got about 30,000 people in this ballpark, or close to it.
Great crowd tonight. Saw a stat earlier today. The Pirates with crowds of 20,000 plus are 9-1.
It's a lock then. Combine that with the fact we've beaten some top-notch pitchers. Great crowd shot there. Great shot of this ballpark.
LaRoche rips it down to Carroll. It's off his glove. He's going to have to hurry, and he still gets LaRoche.
And because the ball was blistered and got to him in a flash, you could kick it around a little bit and still make the play, and he did. Great lesson for youngsters, especially if you're playing second base. Keep the ball in front of you. You're the closest guy to where you're throwing it at first base, so you always got a chance, even if it's late. Don't give up on the play.
Andy LaRoche looking for a hit. He grounded out to Johnny Peralta at third base. Jamie Carroll did a nice job keeping the ball in front of him. Didn't give up on the ball. That's something a lot of younger players have to learn how to do. Understanding also who's at the plate, how they run. One and one.
I also tell the kids, you know, the most valuable piece of equipment you have is your set of eyes. Look around. You never know when you're still going to have a play available. Somebody's running the bases improperly.
One hopper. Valbuena ends the inning. 1, 2, 3 they go for the second time in the ball game. Cliff Lee cruising through 4. has been resuming what you would call baseball activities. Here visiting with Jason Jaramillo, working on different situations. Well, catching the ball normally. And we've seen him run a lot, too. He's been hitting underneath, working with Perry Hill, the infield coach.
He's certainly not airing it out, throwing with that right hand, but it looks comfortable. I mean, he doesn't.
I talked to Neil Huntington before the game. I asked him about Domet and his return. He said that it could be after the All-Star break, which is a lot closer than you think right now.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about that word "could." I'm hoping that's a definite, because you know, originally we were thinking, okay, we're going to lose him until the All-Star break. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, when you talk about the right wrist, my question to Neil was, is he having, will it be more of an issue throwing because you have to snap the wrist, or will it be more of an issue hitting? And
There's
he said
more shock and trauma with contact with the bat, but
right.
throwing is an issue.
He said because he's got a power swing, that's the one that they're more concerned with. Cliff Lee pops it up, shallow left. And over to get it is Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen owed one from last night when Niger Morgan stepped in front of him over by the north side notch and took the ball away. So McCutchen says, you got that one last night, I got this one tonight.
And that's an out right there you have to get. And again, it's no big deal. It won't get a headline. It won't get a mention. But you've got to get that man. You got a 1-0 ball game. You're getting dominated by a pitcher. You cannot let that pitcher lead off and reach base in any way, shape, or form. You got to get that sure out, because you want to get every out you can, because Lee is that tough so far pitching against the Pirates.
Strike one to Jamie Carroll. Carroll singled in the third inning. And he flied out to right. His first at bat of the first. Ross Ohlendorf, Austin, Texas. And there is strike two. Now, last night in left center field, Niger runs after this one.
I got it, kid. I got it.
I got it, kid.
And McCutchen was reaching up there saying, hey, I got it. But tonight he just says, all right, I owe you one.
Yeah, I got it. You got it. You take it. Your turn.
You know that's what they were talking about. 0-2, liner to center. McCutchen easy on the run. Now, the one thing about that play last night, Niger said he was getting bored with very little action in left field, so he tried to create some.
You don't want Niger bored.
No. He needs to be doing stuff. Two outs for Mark DeRosa. Converted infielder. Played second base with the Chicago Cubs. He was with the Braves as well, and now moved to right field.
I can't convince anybody this guy looks like Tom Cruise, but I just think he does. So I'm going to drop it. It's over.
Yeah. I don't know, but there are members of our crew down in the trailer who are confusing you with Tom Cruise.
Well, I did have a shot for that starring role in Eyes Wide Shut, but Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise movie turned it down.
That's because you're looking at DeRosa with your eyes wide shut. I mean, Tom Cruise look-alike right there. Huh?
Show me the money.
Show me a ground ball. And Wilson retires DeRosa. And the Indians are down in order. Jack Wilson, routine ground ball out. That's a handful, huh, Steve?
That is. That's a serious dog.
1-0 Indians, bottom of the fifth. And Brandon Moss leading off will be followed by Jason Jaramillo and Jack Wilson. Pirates trying to find a way to get a run off of Indian starter Cliff Lee.
Just one hit through the first four.
0-1. And it's 0-2.
We said early in the ball game, if you want to beat a guy like Cliff Lee, even though he's 4-6, don't be deceived by that. That's a trap. You want to beat him, pretty much got out pitch him. So far, Ross Ohlendorf is doing his part of the bargain. He's given up 1 run in 5 innings. He's doing just fine.
Way inside.
Got to give him some help.
Well, here's a guy. We talked about the power surge recently, but he needs to get involved in it. He's had 1 home run all year, and that was on the 12th of May against St. Louis. It's been his only round tripper of the year. And he strikes out looking. Just barely caught that top outside corner, and Moss doesn't like it very much. 2009 Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It's on. Third strikeout of the game for Cliff Lee. Here's Jaramillo. He was a strikeout victim in the second inning. He fouls this one away.
Told you about the great control numbers that Lee showed in his monster year last year. 22-3, 34 walks and 31 starts. Almost as good this year. 15 starts, just 23 walks. None issued tonight. You're going to have to earn your runs, earn your hits.
To right field. DeRosa going back on it, and he's got it on the track. 2 down to the Pirate fifth. Batter will be Jack Wilson. Wilson had a base hit in the third inning. He has the only Pirate hit of the game. And so now they're back around the order to Jack without getting a hit in between. This might be shaping up to be a game like it was a couple of nights ago where the Pirates didn't do anything till late. 5-4 loss in game 1. A 4-run bottom of the ninth, trailing 5-0. Almost pulled it off.
In the fifth inning, and Cliff Lee has just thrown just his 65th pitch. And has not thrown very many this inning, just 7 so far with 2 quick outs. Jack has the only base hit against Mr. Lee.
He will take strike 2.
Got to stagger Lee somehow. The old Lloyd Price song, Stagger Lee. We haven't staggered him yet. He is very much upright.
If anything, Jack wants to get on so Ohlendorf can come to the plate this inning and not have to lead off next inning. And this one up the middle, and that is a base hit for Wilson. He's 2 for 2.
Another shot up the middle, hitting the ball straight away. First one was off the glove of Cliff Lee. This one on the other side.
Wilson just putting this one back up the middle. Jack owns both hits off Lee.
Nice job. Hit that ball straight away. If you try to pull it, a lot of ground balls to the shortstop.
Ross Ohlendorf trying to find a way to reach.
Well, you know, you never know. There's a good chance that he's in a tough spot, but you never know. Take your swing, put the ball in play. Got a whole lot of pitching going on tonight. A whole lot of pitching.
Not bad on both sides. Ohlendorf at the plate this year, 1 out of 28.
Yeah, but he's big enough. You know, if he runs into one, he could probably give it a decent ride. Francisco playing a deep second base, basically.
This one popped up foul and out of play. On days you pitched kind of by yourself, what did you do before a game?
I don't think that's any of your business.
Well, this is what Ross Ohlendorf does.
Okay, what is
the
it?
Ivy League grad from Princeton. He's just reading a book.
Okay, well, I did a lot of reading. I took a lot of books on the road. People won't believe that, but I did.
He's trying to stay hidden with the camouflage.
Basically, everybody's that's going to start is trying to find a way to pass time during the day. The day goes so slow until you get to the ballpark. When I was on the road, I'd go to a pool hall and play pool just to pass the time. The afternoon, couple hours, ready to go to the ballpark. When I was home, I did the dusting or mowed the lawn. Hate windows. Never did windows.
Never did windows.
Really just try to get through the day. It's a slow day.
Cliff Lee gets through that inning, striking out Ross Ohlendorf. We'll head to the 6th. Tribe leading at 1-0. The nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And
this is hilarious.
This is great. Now keep your eye. Oh, there's.
They take Saul out, but it gets worse for Saul.
Yeah, Saul's in the red.
Yeah.
Now watch this.
There's a little congestion here.
Hello.
Oh.
They running with eyes wide shut.
They just put that wall hit.
But watch Hannah. Hannah is laughing so hard in there. She can't take it. And just fades.
Fades, I guess.
And now here comes Cheese.
It's a reversal. Cheese is going to win.
He wins wedging out Saul. Watch this.
That's hilarious. He ran into the bullpen door.
That's unbelievable.
That's a real call to the pen. There's activity in the pen. Outside the pen.
Victor Martinez. 2 balls and no strikes to Victor. He had a hit his first time up, walked and scored. The game's only run in the 3rd.
Good looking pitch, just misses. And Ross Ohlendorf right now, his job is not to think about the score or anything. He's not getting any offensive help, but he can't, don't worry about that. Your job is to keep it where it is. See if the Pirates can break through against Cliff Lee. You can't do anything about the offense. All you can do is go out there and pitch. Don't change a thing. You're doing fine.
Green lighted. Foul tipped into the glove of Jaramillo. 3-1. As far as walks go, Ohlendorf has limited the opposition in that category. He's issued 1 walk or fewer in 6 of his first 14 outings. And is allowing 2.4 walks per 9 innings pitched. This one to center.
Stay here.
McCutchen on the run. He looks up. It is gone. 14th home run. Ohlendorf has given up. Victor Martinez belts his 13th of the year. And it is 2-0 Indians. Dead center field up in the bushes.
Well, he's in a tough spot there. He got behind 3-0. They gave him the green light, so he took a shot, missed it. But he's still in a great hitters count 3-1. Look for a fastball, and he's strong enough to hit it out of the ballpark straight away center field. That ball's tattooed. And you talked about a following wind out to left field. It's kind of following anywhere from right center around to the left field foul line. So that ball was not hurt by the breeze at all. In fact, probably helped carry it a little bit, but it was tattooed.
Shin-Soo Choo tries to bunt his way on. No balls and a strike. 14 homers in his last 12 games. He's had the penchant for the long ball, and that is something he knows has to stop.
It was interesting because Friday night the Pirates fell behind 4-0 early, and then Johnny Peralta hit what looked to be a meaningless solo home run to take it 5-0. That became a very big item. You wonder about this home run by Martinez adding to that 1-0 lead.
Well, the way that Cliff Lee is pitching, he has held the Pirates scoreless and limited them to only 2 hits, both hits coming off the bat of Jack Wilson. Adam LaRoche steps on first, and he retires Shin-Soo Choo
for the first time tonight.
Choo now 2 out of 3. Well, Martinez got a hold of that one, dead center field.
Well, you look at his numbers, that's not out of character. He's right in the middle of a very, very outstanding year offensively.
He's one of the best hitters in the American League. Johnny Peralta, the batter.
Does a lot of catching, but hits more like a first baseman, does Victor Martinez.
Peralta 0 for 2, ground out and a flyout. Foul ball. Now, Johnny Peralta has an interesting spelling of his first name, and if you're not familiar with American League Baseball, you don't watch it very much, and you see the way it is spelled J-H-O-N instead of J-O-H-N. It's not a typo. That's how he wants it. Jack Wilson throws out Peralta, 2 down.
And these Cleveland Indians, storied franchise, much like the Pittsburgh Pirates. They still go back to one of the most outstanding records ever in 1954. In a 154 game schedule, they won 111, and then got swept by the New York Giants and Dusty Rhodes in the '54 World Series. I remember it well. It broke my heart. Big Indians fan.
Ben Francisco, the center fielder, takes high ball 1. Francisco tonight 0 for 2. Popped out twice to Andy LaRoche.
Always wanted to pitch in Municipal Stadium where the Indians played when I was in high school and signed with the Pirates. Finally got a chance to do that in an exhibition game. Hypo game. Pirates used to play a hypo game. H-Y-P-O. Pitch that misses inside. Help young players organize. It was to benefit amateur baseball both in Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and then it spilled over to a Pittsburgh, Kansas City exhibition game later on. Got to pitch in Municipal Stadium against the Indians. There's the 3rd walk issued by Ross Ollendorf.
This season, FSN is giving you the chance to win a Grand Slam Fan Appreciation Day at the ballpark. Now keep watching tonight's game on FSN for the 7th inning stretch. Keyword of the game. Then hit FSNinsider.com for your chance to win a Grand Slam Fan Appreciation Day at the ballpark. And coming up the 7th inning, we'll give you a keyword. And go online to FSNinsider.com, and you could win Grand Slam Fan Appreciation Day at the park. Great package. All kinds of cool stuff. That Municipal Stadium was pretty big, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a big barn. Yep. Well, I remember each year the Yankees and Indians would play a doubleheader there once in the summer, and they'd have over 80,000. Got to watch Francisco. Ideal time for him to try to run. and they're concerned about him. He's what, 10 out of 11, I think, and 2 outs, nothing happening after the home run. And these are situations where you're surprised if a guy doesn't take off, that is a base stealer like that. Joel Skinner, third base coach for the Indians, son of Bob Skinner, former Pirate, letting everybody know there's 2 outs. Another move, and it's hard for Ross is a big man. It's hard for the big guys to be real quick over to first base. No, it's an ideal situation for Francisco to run.
Luis Valbuena has been patient, waiting for the first pitch from Ollendorf.
He might have to wait a little longer.
One ball and no strikes. Due up for the Pirates at top of the order, McCutchen, Morgan, and Sanchez when they get to the plate in the bottom of the 6th.
Right now, Jaramillo coming out. No surprise. Joe Kerrigan's going to come out probably. Well, not probably. I'm guessing that they might be discussing the possibility of him concentrating so much on the runner that the batter becomes secondary. It's supposed to be the other way around. You got to keep track of that runner, but you got to turn that attention off when you get ready to release the ball and make up your mind to go to home plate.
Oftentimes the discussions on the mound are not, hey, don't do what you're doing. It's, hey, this is what we need you to do now and next. It's always looking forward to try to help get an out. You can save the other don't do this, don't do that stuff for the dugout. A 2-0 lead for Cleveland. Top of the 6th inning. 2 runs on 5 hits. No runs on 2 hits for the Bucks.
But also, don't get so wrapped up in that guy at first you forget about who's at the plate.
1-0 pitch coming to Valbuena. There goes the runner. They throw down by Jaramillo. Knocked down by Jack Wilson, and a runner in scoring position with 2 down. A stolen base for Ben Francisco.
Stolen base. You knew that opportunity was going to come, or he'd give that a shot. Now you've got him at second base, and you've also got a 2-0 count on the hitter. So you got the double whammy as a result of all that business.
Just a straight steal. No quick look down and see what the hitter was doing. He was going all the way. See that throw by Jaramillo? He might not have had the best grip because it just tailed toward right field.
Yeah, and he took kind of a windup. It wasn't the quickest of releases.
Valbuena struck out and grounded out. Grounded out to Adam LaRoche at first base in the 4th inning. Struck out back in the 2nd. Here's the 2-0. One is in there for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, important for Ross to realize the importance of this out, and I'm sure he does. 2-0. This ball game's not out of hand. You don't want to let it get too much further down the road with Lee out there.
A comebacker. Ollendorf strands another runner. So the home run by Victor Martinez adds another one for the Indians. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. A 2-0 Cleveland lead. McCutchen chopping one down to the shortstop, Luis Valbuena. And he makes a leaping throw to second base. How high he gets.
Stop action. There it is.
You gotta look before you leap. Except he wasn't throwing it when he was leaping there.
That's a good looking shortstop there.
Valbuena. Bottom of the sixth, top of the order. Time for the Bucs to get something going against Cliff Lee. Nobody's hit other than Jack Wilson. After everybody hit last night. 0 for 2. He's got a 12-game hitting streak, longest of any rookie in the majors this year. Take a look at our Barrel Automotive League leaders stat. National League batting average leaders, the Mets, Dodgers, and the Pirates in third. And that one's down the line. And here goes McCutchen as he will turn on the Jets and go on to second base.
No contest. Zero contest for any defensive action at second base.
That's the 10th extra base hit of the season for Andrew McCutchen, his 4th double. A little stutter step around first, and then he stepped on the gas.
Thought for just a nanosecond that Peralta might be able to get over there and put the backhand on that ball, but once he didn't, it was 2 bases. And here's your opportunity. We talked about limited number of opportunities against a guy like Cliff Lee. The Pirates have one here. Got to find a way to cash it in. Get in.
McCutchen is exciting when he gets on base. Just knocks this one inside of third. The Niger Morgan, ideal place to put it's down third base here. Draw that third baseman Peralta in.
Yeah, that was stop action of him getting out of the batter's box. We were just too late with the stop. He was already gone. Hit him?
That hit it. Or did it hit the bat and him? Jerry Lane indicating it was a dead ball. And John Russell coming out along with the trainer Brad Henderson.
There's going to be a discussion about this.
And he's trying to show Jerry Lane it hit him on the finger. John Russell doesn't look happy. I don't think Morgan's going to first. Russell and Jerry Lane having words at the plate.
You got to fight this one for a while. And if he's made a decision, there's not much you can do about it.
I mean, the evidence is right in front of him. Niger Morgan listening on intently. And John Russell's just been run. Second time in his career as a big league skipper he's been run. Bob Davidson ran him last year in a game, and now Jerry Lane sends him. And now he's going to get his money's worth. And all he's going to do is look at the fingers of Niger Morgan.
This might be as animated as I've seen John Russell.
Well, the skipper's going to go check on his player.
There might be another back-end conversation, too, with Jerry.
Here it comes. Well, Jerry Lane's just turned his back to John Russell, and the manager doesn't like it. He's already been thrown out of the game. And sometimes when a skipper gets run, that can fire up the ball club. And John's going back for more.
Well, the thing is, you can't get thrown out twice, so he's out there with him.
Well, this has to be one of the longer arguments you're ever going to see. And the fans showing their appreciation for JR, John Russell. He's out. Gary Varsho, the bench coach, will take over as he heads up the tunnel. But, man, Nigel Morgan.
See what we can see here.
And he's saying he got hit on the finger, but Jerry Lane disagreed. 0-2 pitch pulled up the right side.
This is such a tough thing to determine.
From that angle, looked like it got him on the finger.
Well, what you got a black bat and a black batting glove, and then a baseball coming to it.
And you can certainly understand John Russell's frustration with that because it's right in front of the umpire. I mean, it's literally a foot or two in front of his eyes. 0-2 pitch. And this one to the right side. That'll get McCutchen over. So Nigel Morgan moves McCutchen 90 feet closer. And he's not happy either. He feels it should have been first and second with nobody out. Now it's a man on third with one out.
The other thing is the umpire is in back of the batter. Now the batter has the bat out there, and his hands are really on the back of the bat. So it's a tough call with what's going on on the front part of the bat because he's in back of everything. The big part of his hands are in back because he doesn't want to get hit on the fingers when he's.
See, now he's showing off the evidence. One ball and no strikes to Freddie Sanchez. Sanchez trying to cut this Indians lead in half.
Find a way to get the ball out of the infield.
1-1. Well, again, you hope they get some use out of the ejection of John Russell here and the team gets going. Sometimes that'll work.
Indians are going to give up the run.
And Sanchez to center. McCutchen will tag. The ball is caught. And McCutchen will score with ease. Sanchez drives in his 30th run of the year, and the lead is cut in half. It's 2-1.
Well done by Freddie. The Pirates manufacture that run. You'd like to have more going on here, but you'll take what is available, and the Pirates are within one.
Just solid baseball right here. McCutchen just walks home. And 1-800-SAFE-AUTO reminds you that you're safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Leadoff hitter Andrew McCutchen coming around to score after his leadoff double. Two men are out. And Adam LaRoche at the plate. He's 0 for 2. A pair of groundouts to Jamie Carroll at second base.
See if Cliff can hang one.
Adam LaRoche hasn't faced Cliff Lee before tonight. Brother Andy did, going 1 out of 3 career before tonight's game. Oh, 2 struck him out. So LaRoche goes down on strikes. The manager, John Russell, has been run, but the Pirates get on the board. 2-1. Bush doesn't like that one. And Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire, gets into it with John Russell. The first time he was ejected in his career. And that one lasted a little while. And Davidson got a little bit upset. And tonight, Jerry Lane runs him for the second career ejection. And John used as much time as he possibly could after he was ejected to make his point. Nigel Morgan hit on the finger right in front of Jerry Lane. Lane missed it. And instead of having first and second with nobody out, sent Morgan back to the plate, grounded out, moving McCutchen up. McCutchen would score to make it a 2-1 ball game on the sacrifice fly by Sanchez. And this one up in the air, left center field. Who's got it? McCutchen. Let's check out how we got to this point with tonight's summary brought to you by A&L Motors. Shin-Soo Choo, an RBI double in the third inning, scoring Victor Martinez. A 2-out walk was issued, and Martinez came around after the double. And then Martinez a solo home run to dead center in the sixth. And then McCutchen driven in by Freddie Sanchez on the sacrifice fly. 2-1. Top of the seventh inning.
And here's another freebie, quote unquote, at bat available for Ross Ohlendorf, who probably is going to work this seventh inning. It's been a warm night. He's going to get up around that magic mark, and there's activity in the Pirate bullpen.
He's kept them in the game so far.
Yes,
unfortunately, they haven't scored for him. And for Ross, it's been feast or famine. In his 6 wins, the Pirates have scored a total of 47 runs. But in his losses,
is that 8 runs a game?
They've scored only 8 runs total.
So they're giving them 8 runs when the wins come with 8 runs. The losses come with a total of 8 runs. Not much help tonight. He's doing fine.
Right there is Nigel Morgan. 2 away. Back to the top of the order, and Jamie Carroll, as Cliff Lee is now 0 for 3. Now, Carroll looks like he's played in a ball game, doesn't he?
He does.
Carroll is 1 for 3 tonight.
That used to be on the list. If you're hitting 210, there's about 6 things you can do to stay on the ball club. One of them is get your uniform dirty, dive after every ball that's hit, whether it's at you or not. A bunch of things you can do to look like you're playing all out.
So he should dive at the balls that aren't hit to him too. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
You don't see that much.
No, but you might think about it if you're hitting 210.
Unfortunately for Carroll, his average a little higher than that.
286 coming into the ball game.
1-0 pitch, and that one is on the inside corner for a strike.
Just 5 hits given up by Ross. One of them left the yard, and that's the difference in this ball game.
They want an appeal at first, and Tony Randazzo down there says nope.
I don't think the Pirates are going to get too many appeals right now.
No. They got to play it pretty straight. The 2-1. Strike 2. You know, as far as manager umpire arguments go, how do you rate that one? That was pretty good.
He did a good job. Yep. He stayed out there, and as you said, he got his money's worth. I thought it was a very good idea to make the umpires your friend. Now, of course, in that situation, you've got to get your money's worth. You got to argue that play.
2-2. Right down to Jack Wilson. And Ohlendorf gets them in order in the 7th. We've reached the 7th inning stretch. It's the Cleveland Indians 2, Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by our friends at Levin Furniture. courtesy of Grand Slam Fan Appreciation Day at the ballpark, July 9th, courtesy of FSN and the Pirates. Again, tonight's keyword is double. Log on to FSNinsider.com and register.
I think that's a good idea right now.
Pirates could use
leadoff double.
Just back-to-back doubles, get it over with and tie up the ball game. Lightning off in the distance now, over to the east of the stadium. Andy LaRoche, 1 ball, 1 strike, swinging at the 1-0 pitch. And he's grounded out twice tonight to the left side of the infield.
I've not seen Cliff Lee pitch all that much, but coming off those numbers from last year, you know he knows what he's doing. He's not a flamethrower, got a good fastball, but he does a whole lot of pitching. Mixes up his speeds, mixes up his location, doesn't walk anybody.
He was one of those guys that at the beginning of the year last year, when he started running off win after win, people were saying, where was he a year before? Well, he battled injury.
He was hurt. Yep. But
came back and won the Cy Young.
Yeah, the 3 years before that injury, by the way, he won 14, 18, and 14. Again, traded from Montreal to the Cleveland Indians.
Still a 2-2 count to Andy LaRoche. Yeah, Cliff was involved in a deal that involved Brandon Phillips, who's now with the Reds.
Grady Sizemore. Yeah, pretty good deal.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing when they made that deal. The Indians, anyway, got the better of it. Lee ready, and here's the wind of the 2-2 to Andy LaRoche. Inside 3-2.
Maybe we can squeeze one of those rare free passes out of Cliff Lee.
So the count is full.
What do the kids say? Hits as good as a walk, walks as good as a hit right here.
Whatever it takes to get on board.
A base runner. A base runner.
LaRoche wants time. Runs a precious commodity tonight. And this one fouled away.
Okay, stays alive.
Andy's last home run came on the 17th of this month at Minnesota, under the roof of the Dome. The 3-2 pitch. We'll do it again.
Working him. How many strikes can you throw in a row? Well, Cliff Lee is being challenged now.
Hit safely in 4 of his last 5 games, trying to make it 5 of 6 after going 0 for his first 2 tonight. Again, the payoff from Lee. That's high, ball 4. So the tying run is aboard now in the bottom of the 7th, and Brandon Moss, who's 0 for 2, walking to the plate. This Sunday, the Pirates will host interleague opponents Kansas City. It's a kids' day at the ballpark, family fun zone. Right before the game on Federal Street, and after the game, the kids get to run the bases. And there is Andy trying on what the kids 14 and under will get: batting gloves and wristbands, courtesy of Kimberly Clark. To get your tickets to this or any kids game, call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or visit pirates.com. That's always a great giveaway.
Now, what are they going to do with Brandon Moss? The Indians think he's going to be bunting.
And Moss takes ball 1.
No indication. Peralta in on the grass. Another look at Tony Beasley from Moss. Andy will check things out from first base. See what the Pirates have on, if anything.
Moss has hit safely in 4 straight, looking to extend that to 5. And he takes a cut, 1-1. Over his last 32 games, he went 34 for 96. That's a .354 clip. That helped him raise his average from 174 up to 269. Almost 100 points. And he gets a hold of this one, and that one's going to get down to left field, a base hit.
Nice. Going the opposite way. Something outside, might have been a slider, fastball. I'm not sure it was, but the key was that he went with the pitch instead of trying to pull it. There you see it right there, slicing that ball to left field. Now the Pirates, I'm thinking, are going to be bunting. That's a guess. And Peralta and Lee are convinced because they want to get together and figure out what they're going to do and what the responsibilities are. The wheel play, where the shortstop comes over and the third baseman crashes in, or if they don't do that, it's the pitcher's responsibility to cover the bunt down the third baseline.
Andy LaRoche, the tying run at second base with nobody out.
Nice at bat for Brandon Mills.
Jaramillo, switch hitter, batting right-handed. He will square, puts it down third. Good punt by Jaramillo. It does his job. 2 men in scoring position now, as LaRoche is 90 feet away down at third, and Brandon Moss, the go-ahead run, in scoring position at second base. That's a fine fundamental play by Jason Jaramillo.
That's as good as you can do it. Put it down there. He bunts it firm enough to get it away from the catcher. Firm enough so the pitcher's not involved, although sometimes you want the pitcher involved. He can throw it anywhere, and the third baseman handles the play with the only play he has available. So, showtime. Jack Wilson needs to get this ball out of the infield. He's done it nicely the first 2 times at bat.
And Jack Wilson has been the most consistent Pirate hitter at the plate tonight, as you mentioned, 2 for 2. And a base hit here could mean the lead. They're going to walk him. Load the bases for Delwyn Young, a pinch hitter, who John Russell referred to in a season ticket holders town hall meeting the other day as one of the best pinch hitters in baseball right now. And he has been effective in a pinch hitting role, no doubt about it. Delwyn Young has faced Cliff Lee once before, getting a base hit off him.
So that will end the night for Ross Ohlendorf, but he's still on the bubble. He could lose it. He could be the losing pitcher. He could be the winning pitcher. He could get off the hook. Gary Varsho with the lineup card after John Russell's ejection. So a lot of things could happen for the Pirates. A lot of things could happen for the decision or lack of for Ross Ohlendorf, as the Pirates have this opportunity. We talked about this throughout the game. The theme is against quality pitchers, limited amount of opportunities. You got one here. When you get them, you got to cash them in, or you will not win.
So the base runners, LaRoche, Moss, and Wilson. Delwyn Young swings, and he hits this one up in the air, shallow left center. Might not be deep enough. And Andy LaRoche goes halfway. The throw up the line. Not a good at bat for Delwyn Young. Can't get the run in. And up there, first ball swinging with the bases loaded. And now there are 2 down. And Andrew McCutchen a chance to do it again.
I really don't have too much trouble with swinging at the first pitch because Lee is a very good control pitcher. He just popped it up.
LaRoche was trying to draw a bad throw. So the base is loaded and 2 outs. McCutchen swings and misses for a strike.
Out in front of an off-speed pitch from Cliff Lee.
Ohlendorf hoping for a hit here by McCutchen. And Cliff Lee delivers. And this one fouled away, and it's 0-2.
Tough spot for a young hitter against a veteran winning pitcher. Tough spot. Cliff Lee now, he has the ability to kind of tease him with at least 2 pitches because his control is that good. He's not concerned about going down, getting deeper in a count. It doesn't bother him. I'd be surprised if he doesn't try to get Andrew to chase something out of the strike zone somewhere. High fastball, the teaser.
With runners in scoring position, 3 out of 8. And 2 outs. Runners in scoring position, pretty good. See if he can do it again. And he hangs in there.
Again, the off-speed pitch. Out in front, but yes, gets enough.
McCutcheon's average with the bases loaded in his brief major league career, 600.
Like that. The rookie against the crafty left-hand veteran.
Bases full of Bucks. There's the 1-2. 2-2.
Again, trying to get Andrew to chase something. Twice went upstairs. No sale up there. But again, this might be a little more of a concern for a young, inexperienced pitcher, but I don't think there's any panic for Cliff Lee.
Big pitch coming.
Yeah, that's an old trick there. He might not have any signal that he's doing that, shaking his head, trying to get into Andrew's head a little bit by shaking his head no. But looks like it might be legit now because he wants his catcher to talk to him. Many times a pitcher will just shake his head a bunch of times to just get the hitter thinking. Cliff Lee did not get the sign he wanted, and he'll talk it over with his catcher.
Toiling now, 23 pitches in the 7th inning. 107 total.
But his manager knows who he's got out there. Nothing doing in the Cleveland bullpen at this point. And it's a struggling bullpen. He's got his best man out there.
2-2 pitch. Fouled back again. Now wind is kicked up too, blowing out to left field.
Wouldn't just love to see a gap shot. Watch Andrew chase everybody around the bases.
Again, the 2-2 pitch from Lee. In the dirt, 3-2. 2 outs. The runners will be moving with the pitch. Everybody in motion.
Boy, we were here Friday night in a similar situation. And it was the 9th. Here it is in the 7th. Tried to breaking ball, and it's so important for Andrew to try to be as disciplined as possible. Make sure that he gets a strike.
Dave Wannstedt, front row seat for the pit coach.
He's watched young athletes in these kind of situations.
3-2. Ball 4. Tie ball game. Cliff Lee has walked in the tying run.
What a great at bat by Andrew McCutchen. The young man, the apprentice, beats the veteran.
It was an 8-pitch at bat. And Andy LaRoche comes in. Down to third, Moss. Over to second, Wilson. McCutchen at first, and this is a brand new ball game. Carl Willis, the pitching coach, coming out to talk to the veteran Cliff Lee.
Ross Ollendorf at least off the hook, now in a position to get a W. What a terrific at bat. That's not the easiest thing to do for any major league hitter when you got all that going on around you, everything involved. Close ball game. Tough for any major leaguer, but especially a youngster.
And the poise that he shows, this is just his 20th major league game.
Yep.
That's not a lot of activity at the big league level. And look at that, 17 runs batted in his first 20 games.
Yep. Well, we talked over on the other side last night about making up a T-shirt. What's not to like about Andrew McCutchen?
There is a lot to like about that kid. And he is a kid. 22 years old. First round draft choice a couple of years back.
Okay, nothing determined, but the Pirates still in business.
And Niger Morgan with 2 down and the bases full. Will swing and foul it back.
And now there is action in the Cleveland bullpen.
Rafael Perez and Joe Smith, double barrel action in the Cleveland pen.
In a warm night, I'm sure Cliff Lee is starting to feel a little bit warm and humid. Working here in the bottom of the 7th.
This one is back off the helmet of Chopin.
Once again, like McCutchen, Morgan behind 0-2 early in the count. What a job Andrew did, and let's hope Niger can certainly get his money's worth.
30,120 tonight. Big crowd on hand to see the tribe of the Bucks. 2-2. Bottom of the 7th. No balls and 2 strikes. Base is full. Pitch to Morgan. That's high, ball 1. You've got a good eye, Steve. Earlier in the day you said, I think we have 30,000, and you missed it by 120.
Darn it, off my game.
You were real good, though. Pretty close.
Well, they're seeing a good one. Good baseball game.
Nyjer Morgan's average with the bases loaded, 429. And he takes inside ball 2.
Boy, is it hard to lay off that one. That looked like a breaking ball that Cliff Lee was trying to backdoor it and pick up that first base corner of the plate. And now that's an important pitch to take the count 2-2, because Cliff Lee does not want to go 3-2 again. That whole scenario has changed.
Morgan swings, ground ball down to short. Go to second, get the force out. But the Pirates get the tying run. And we'll go to the 8th inning. As Andrew McCutchen gets another RBI. It's a 2-2 game. Well, Andrew McCutchen tonight has scored 1 run and driven in another. The game tied at 2, and left-hander John Graybo starts the 8th.
Ross Ohlendorf comes away with a no decision after 7 quality innings, giving up a couple runs on 5 hits. He walked 3 and struck out 2. Very much a quality start.
Mark DeRosa takes outside, 2 balls and no strikes. A very good ball game tonight here at PNC Park with Steve Blass, Tim Neverett. Another steamy night, 86 degrees at game time.
Don't do that, John. 3-0. John Graybo behind in the count, 3-0, tie ball game in the 8th inning. Had a good inning of work Wednesday night, first game of the series. 4 pitches.
And the go-ahead runs on base. You can follow the Pirates on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com At Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Visit Pirates.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase.
Well, you can trust the fact that Victor Martinez is not going to be bunting. Pirates know that. Everybody back, double play opportunities, grounded into 5 of them.
They're texting their friends about the ball game. They're saying, hey, tune in to FSN right now. You're seeing a good one.
5 straight missing the strike zone from John. He'll get a visit from Mr. Kerrigan.
there's one cure for this, and that's a ground ball to short or second. Maybe even third.
Ground ball to somebody.
Take a comebacker. So Graybo comes on, 5 straight balls. Mark DeRosa's at first. Victor Martinez, who is 2 for 2, a single and a home run, a walk and a run scored. He has scored both of the Indian runs. And Shin-Soo Choo, who's on deck, he's 2 for 3. A tough part of the Tribe order.
Need a strike is what we need.
And this one, a foul ball up the left side into the Pirate dugout.
Martinez gets his money's worth when he turns the bat loose.
Cincinnati's ahead of Toronto in the 7th inning, 6-5. The only other game going on involving a Central team. Boy, that was close. That just missed off the corner, 2-1.
That's John Graybo's patented changeup. Has a little fade away from the right-hand batter. Now you got a 2-1 count. Do they want to do anything with DeRosa at first? Modest lead. 3-1.
Well, action again in the Pirate bullpen to back up John Graybo. If he loses Martinez, that'll put the go-ahead run in scoring position. Right-hander up and going. Steven Jackson. Try to get him back on the horse after last night. 3-1 pitch is swung on, hit to left. Niger Morgan backing up. He is on the track, and Morgan leaps, and he makes the grab. What a catch by Niger Morgan. Woo. Woo. Niger, the mayor of Morgantown.
Oh boy. Oh boy. He's got time and takes a home run away. That is helped by the fact he had a lot of height, but take nothing away from the timing and the catch of Niger Morgan. He got back there, realized where he was, knew when to jump, comes down with a baseball. Heart-stopping. Heart-stopping.
Highway robbery. And now Chu is swing and a miss.
Martinez that close to getting his second home run of the night. The first one up in the shrubbery in center field. This one close to being in the crowd and left.
Niger
Okay,
Morgan
everybody.
says, not in my backyard. What a great play. 1 ball and 1 strike. John Graybo was fairly relieved when he saw Morgan come down with the ball.
And if Morgan didn't come down the ball, it might have been relieved.
Shin-Soo Choo from the peninsula area, Busan, South Korea. 1-1 to the Indians left fielder. And this one is foul stripe back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Worth another look.
Pirate fans backing off. Nice job.
I just wonder, and I'll mention this after this pitch. Love it. Love
Struck him out.
I can't wait to ask Niger. Hey, Niger, you think if you had to do it over again, you'd take one more step back and have your back against the wall? I don't think so, but he might have had just one more step to get back there, but he was positioned. He knew where he was, knew where the ball was, and came down with it. Good stuff.
Johnny Peralta 0 for 3, 2 groundouts and a flyout. Flat out to Morgan in the 3rd inning. There goes the runner, and the throw down, not in time. Graybo not paying enough attention to Mark DeRosa. Now he's in scoring position with 2 down.
Yep, that's a veteran who knows what the scenario is here. You've got 2 outs, tie ball game, not much happening. Take your shot. You can get a cheap run with 2 outs.
His first steal of the season. He's 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts now. As DeRosa cruised into second base. 1-1 to Peralta.
So the drama reduced significantly with that catch, but still exists with DeRosa in scoring position. Morgan way over, as always, away from the left field line. He's just laying in left center field.
2-1. Grable falling behind Peralta. Peralta hitting at .252. And it's now even 2-2.
Peralta probably going to see a lot of action down and away, and that might factor into why Niger is so far off the left field line. John Grable, for the most part, will try to work that outside corner. And the shades of John Franco years ago used to live out there in that outside corner against right-hand batters. Great reliever for the Mets and Reds. Pitch that misses out there. Well, an interesting inning for John Grable to this point.
The 3-2 pitch coming. First and second, and 2 outs. He's walked 2 men this inning. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Ben Francisco. He's 0 for 2 in the 6th inning. He reached via the base on balls. Stole second base, too. 2 on. And the right-handed hitter, Francisco, at the plate. .230 hitter on the season. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Indians. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Pirates from the top of the 8th. 2 on and 2 out. Grable's pitch. Inside for a ball. Thought he caught part of the plate, but Jerry Lane said no. .20 pitches in the inning so far for Grable. 21. And Jaramillo goes out and talks to him. 2 balls and no strikes. And this is not the usual John Grable we see.
Talk about shades of John Franco. How about shades of Mike Williams? Our closer for several years was the master of adventure.
So 2 balls and no strikes. 21 pitches, 14 of them balls. Joe Kerrigan with a look of concern at this point. And there is a breaking ball for a strike.
At this point, all you can do is watch those guys. You can prepare them and get them ready and root for them all you want, but they've got to throw it. They've got to swing the bat. They've got to catch it.
Three and 1. That pitch looked pretty good. See where it was.
Now they brought it back down a little bit. When you're not throwing a lot of strikes, you're probably not going to get that call.
3-2. Runners will take off now.
Thank you, Mr. Francisco. That was ball 4. Sinking fastball. Couldn't lay off. There we go. I'm going to have to stand up for this one.
DeRosa at second. Peralta at first. And the 3-2. Ball 4. Grable has walked. The bases loaded. And Gary Varsho waiting at the bottom of the dugout steps. Waiting for Valbuena to be introduced, but he's going to go back down into the dugout.
Grady Sizemore.
And Ryan Garco, will come up to hit. Garco, he's been battling an injury.
This is a tough call. A tough call. And what to do right here. John Grable has been your man in these kind of situations for a long time.
Ryan Garco. He can be an impact player. Finally gets rid of the weights on the bat. Down at third, DeRosa. Second base is Peralta. Francisco at first. Big average.
This is
the bases loaded.
This is a funny kind of a deal. because if it works, you're fine to leave him in. If it doesn't work, they're going to say.
And he delivers a strike.
These decisions have to be made before the fact. After the fact, you can say you should have done this, shouldn't have done that. But these decisions have to be made at this point.
First time these two have faced one another. And quickly 0-2. Graybo, who possesses a great changeup.
Yep, and it's a sinking changeup, so Jaramillo has to be alert too. He has to be big back there in case with an 0-2 count, John's going to try to make him chase something downstairs, so Jason Jaramillo has to be ready.
0-2 pitch. 1-2. A little bit inside, a little bit low. Base is full of Indians. Top of the 8th inning of a 2-2 ball game. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Garco, pinch hitting for Luis Valbuena. Graybo's pitch. Fouled away. Garco ready to get back in there.
Graybo's got to feel like George Custer here.
Yeah, but he wants to win. He got him. Strike 3. Houdini. Graybo wriggles off the hook, and the Tribe leaves them loaded as Graybo strikes out the pinch hitter Ryan Garco.
Wow.
They love it. Third and Peralta back to short.
He got his wish, didn't he?
And he played shortstop for an inning or two last night. There it moves over. And there is Josh Barfield. That is the late defensive change that Eric Wedge likes to make.
Well, I'm back now, Tim. After that inning, I had to go check the laundry.
Really? Is it dry
goodness. What a far too much drama for a scoreless top of the 8th inning.
Freddie Sanchez fouls this one away. Pirates looking for a run right here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Joe Smith on. How many times have we said, well, who are they going to bring in next? Joe Smith? Well, here's Joe Smith.
Joe Smith.
Saw him earlier in the series. It's the finale of this 3-game set. Up for grabs in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Sanchez reaches for one and strikes out. Really chased the pitch. Time to catch you up on some news around Major League Baseball. Here's tonight's In Case You Missed It from our friends at Chevrolet. Lance Berkman, 1,000 career RBIs, a 2-run home run. Had a couple of homers in the game. Johan Santana and Chris Carpenter, good pitchers duel. Mets would win it 3-2 over the Birds. John Smoltz allowed 4 first-inning runs in his debut with the Red Sox against the Washington Nationals. It's now 4-1 in the 8th. Nationals with the lead, and A-Rod making the news as well. And he tied Reggie Jackson for 11th all-time in home runs, 563. Adam LaRoche, 1 ball and no strikes. So Steven Jackson, the right-hander, was warming up before. He has since sat down. Now Matt Capps, the man warming up. Tie ball game, bottom of the 8th.
Joe Smith, the sidewinder, not as deceptive with that sidewinder delivery to left-hand batters. Adam LaRoche, love to see him run into one. Smith has only given up 1 home run.
A 1-1 offering. And that is at the knees for strike 2.
Cliff Lee comes away with a no decision, as does Ross Ohlendorf.
Well, both starters pitched very well.
Yep, both deserve better. The Pirates are into that bullpen. It has been a struggling Cleveland Indian bullpen. Pitch missing outside 2-2.
Well, at this point, that's one of the best things the Pirates could hope for, is to get into that Cleveland bullpen. Cliff Lee didn't allow it for a while.
7 innings, a couple of runs, 4 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts.
Last year's Cy Young winner. I don't know if he's feeling very good about things right now, even though he had a decent performance.
Well, there's only so much you can control when you're out there pitching. You do your job and hope you get some help defensively and offensively. Some days you do, some you don't.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Adam LaRoche.
That's the rest of that, and some days you get rained out.
Yeah. We had some rain as the first pitch was thrown tonight. It's since gone. 3 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. And LaRoche ropes this one down the right field line, foul.
Cost him a bat.
He has homered in each of the last 2 ball games. Tuesday night off Matt Hergis. That one got wet. 454 feet into the Allegheny, the 26th ball ever hit there. And then last night, he hit another drive that way, and that one went into the bullpen of the Indians. Home run number 11.
Get him on the base paths.
Full count to Adam LaRoche. Joe Smith, the stretch and the payoff pitch. Fouled away again.
I'll tell you, the bottom of the 7th and the top of the 8th. It took a while. 1 run scored out of that duo.
You're a little bit shaky after that?
I was.
Steve's up here shaking.
I was okay in the bottom of the 7th. Got a little revved up. The top of the 8th was somewhat demanding to watch. The 0 was put up. There we go.
And a base runner. The go-ahead run is aboard with 1 out in the 8th as LaRoche takes the walk. And here is the younger LaRoche.
This
for
will be
2 with a walk.
more of a challenge for Andy because Smith does come from the side. He's tough to pick up, tough to keep that front leg from bailing a little bit.
Wind is picked up again, going out to left and left center.
I'll tell you, Francisco is playing extremely deep as they try to set up a no double defense in the outfield straight away, but everybody back.
Jamie Carroll at third, back and guarding the line. And Smith, the right-hander, to the right-hander Andy LaRoche. Inside, ball 1. 272 is the average for Andy. Good contact hitter. It's a lot of line drives. Pirates would love to get one here in the bottom of the 8th. 314 average with runners on base this year. Throw to first, and Adam is back. How about last night, the heads-up base running by Adam LaRoche?
Yep.
Stealing second base when he noticed the pitcher was not paying much attention to him, and that put him in scoring position, and his brother Andy drove him in. If he was at first base, he doesn't come around to score on that play. Here's the 1-0. There's a strike.
Yeah, and it wasn't a done deal at home plate. He was trucking around third base. Didn't have much left in the tank, but he got there.
John Russell thrown out of this ball game in the 6th inning, arguing with Jerry Lane, the home plate umpire, over whether Niger Morgan was hit by a pitch on the finger or not. And John was run, and Gary Varsho has taken over. Only the second time in John Russell's big league career he's been run from the game.
Yep, this is a challenge for Andy to lay off that breaking ball, that sidearm breaking ball that sweeps all the way across the plate. So that takes some discipline, but you can't commit to watching that so much that you become vulnerable for that little sinking fastball from the side.
1 out, 1 on. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-2.
There's that sinking fastball, and from the side that'll have a lot of down and in action to a right-hand batter. So you can't forget about that, but you don't want to get tempted by that outside breaking ball. Jerry gets a little piece of that action on the hand.
Now he knows how Niger felt. Two balls, 2 strikes. Smith delivering to LaRoche. Outside, 3-2. He has gone full to Adam LaRoche, and full now to Andy LaRoche. Brandon Moss on deck, hoping to get an opportunity. Moss with a hit in the 7th.
A lot of dramatic, intense, important deliveries. You got one coming up right here.
Three balls, 2 strikes.
Make it be a strike.
That's low, ball 4. And that moves Adam LaRoche into scoring position. And here comes Eric Wedge.
He's going to come out and make a visit. And he wants to make a pitching change.
The 8-1-1 call to the pen from Columbia Gas has been made. The Indians making a pitching change. It's 2-2. Pirates threatening here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
McDonald's new McCafe coffees, creamy lattes, rich mochas, and frothy cappuccinos. Only at McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Along with Steve Blass, Tim Neverett at PNC Park, better than 30,000 on hand tonight. New pitcher Rafael Perez, the left-hander, makes his 27th appearance.
And not a great package of numbers when you look at the ERA of 10 and you look at innings pitched 20 and 16 walks. So Brandon Moss going to have to make Mr. Perez throw strikes. Now, Adam LaRoche over talking with Tony Beasley. You know, it's pretty obvious, unless it's a BB at somebody, you're going to try to score Adam from third base, and Tony might be telling him, listen, I might need to help you get as much of a lead as you can to save you a step or two. It might make a difference at home plate. Might not have been that, but good they go into conference and they have an idea what they want to do in a given situation. Tony probably going over all the scenarios on a base hit to the outfield that Adam would need to be aware of.
Moss 1 for 3, singled in the 7th. Ferocious LaRoche is on base.
And now Peralta is going to have to keep track of Adam. And we said Perez has had some control issues, a lot of issues. 32 base hits in 20 innings.
He appeared in the bottom of the 8th inning last night, walked 2.
Now, one of the reasons, okay, so why does Eric Wedge use him? First of all, he's a left-hander, and second of all, in 20 innings, he struck out 19. So Eric Wedge is looking for a strikeout. This is the thing that he's looking for. This is a young man's strength, strikeouts. It's been a struggle in the other areas.
2-0. The Cleveland bullpen, the second worst in the American League, and in this series alone, they've given up 7 walks, 5 earned runs, in just 5 2/3 innings.
Ironically, the Angels have the worst, and they're right up around first place.
Go figure.
Not even close.
3-0. That's because the Angels starters go deep into games. The bullpen doesn't get that much of a chance, comparatively speaking. Jason Jaramillo, he's hoping for the best case scenario here.
You think we got the take on here?
Yeah.
I don't often go out on a limb, but
there's the veteran Matt Hergis.
And Matt got knocked around the other night in that 5-4 Indians win.
And there's a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded. So the third walk in the series issued by Rafael Perez, and out comes the pitching coach Carl Willis. As now the Pirates have the go-ahead run 90 feet away for Jaramillo. And an insurance run in scoring position at second base. Jaramillo last night, his first major league home run from the left side of the plate, as he hit that one off Jensen Lewis up over the Clemente wall.
Yeah, just a matter if he had enough height, because he hit it right on the button. Almost got on the top of the ball, which would, given it some sinking action, would have been against the wall because he hit it so hard, but just enough lift. Hit it right square.
Well, the whole infield was in there for a meeting. They're talking about protecting on the squeeze. I don't know if the right personnel package is out there, though.
Perhaps. One of the keys right now is the guy at first base. You don't think so much about him, but a ground ball, Brandon Moss has got to do everything he possibly can if they decide to go conventional. Chances are they'll go to home plate and take the sure out if they get a ground ball. But if they go to second base, he's got to do everything he can.
Again, Perez just walked Moss, the first batter he's seen in the game, on 4 pitches. So you see the infield halfway all the way around.
Anything that's not blistered, they got to come to home plate, and they still might, even if it's hit hard.
And this one to second, and they get out of it. Unbelievable. Pirates had a great chance, and they'll head to the 9th inning, all tied at 2, as Jaramillo hits into a double play.
goes the play. You wish that Perez would have made a play on that ball. At least it would have made it more interesting. He would have had to make a throw to first or second base, and Perez.
A very fortunate individual. He just had walked Brandon Moss on 4 pitches. And Jaramillo went up there first ball swing. He gets into the double play. Matt Capps is on.
John Grabo goes an adventurous scoreless top of the 8th, and now Matt Capps comes on. 2-2 ball game with more than a degree of intensity latter part of this game.
Kelly Shopik, the catcher, in the 9th spot. Travis Hafner waving a bat on deck. Who will hit second on the top of the order? Jamie Carroll. Pitch on the way to center field. McCutcheon. 1 down. 1 pitch and 1 away for Matt Capps,
who appeared earlier in the series, I think that 5-4 game, and had 3 strikeouts in his 1 inning of work.
Well, Travis Hafner. We'll see him for a while. He was on the DL not too long ago.
They still have Mr. Sizemore available, don't they?
They do. Pretty good bench tonight.
Yeah.
You have to. You still got Sizemore left. The only other position player left is Chris Jimenez, the backup first baseman. 1-0 to Hafner. 1-1 to Hafner.
92-mile-an-hour fastball. Burgess and Wood warming up for the Indians.
A tight ball game. 2-2, top of the 9th. First run came in the 3rd inning. A 2-out walk issued to Victor Martinez by Ross Ohlendorf, and then Shin-Soo Choo drove him in. It would be 2-0 in the 6th when Victor Martinez hit a solo home run to dead center field. Pirates would get a single run in the 6th inning when McCutcheon would lead off with a double. Niger Morgan moved him over to third base. Freddie Sanchez drove him in with a sacrifice fly to center field to make it 2-1, and then LaRoche walked. Single by Moss, Andy LaRoche, that is, and then Wilson intentionally walked, and then Cliff Lee walked McCutcheon with the bases loaded to tie the game. 3-2.
It was ironic. Tim went home last night, and one of the TV stations had the movie Major League featuring the Indians. Pete Vukovich.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sit down. Capps gets Hafner, the pinch hitter. 2 outs.
What was the trivia deal last night? The 3 baseball players that played in that movie was Bob Uecker, Steve Yeager,
yep.
Pete Vukovich.
Pete Vukovich.
Vuk playing a little first base.
And Hafner grabbing some pine after the strikeout. Here is Carroll. The big bull rider, Matt Capps, quickly gets 2 outs. Well, you think back to that day in Chicago when Giovanni Soto hit that comebacker off of the elbow. It was real scary. 1-2-3 inning for Matt Capps. And the big bull rider lasts more than 8 seconds. Good job. Go to the bottom of the 9th inning. All even at 2.
first game of the series came in the 9th inning, a third of an inning, gave up 3 as the Pirates came that close to pulling that one out. Now they've got to work hard at this one. 2-2 at the bottom of the 9th.
Wilson takes inside. Eric Hinsky swinging a bat out on deck. He'll hit in that 9th spot. And then the top of the order, Andrew McCutchen. So a couple of shots at the apple tonight for the Pirates in the bottom of the 9th inning. Against Matt Hergis, Jack Wilson is 5 out of 14, and he hits one in the left field, a base hit. He is now 6 out of 15 against Matt Hergis. Leadoff single for Jack Wilson, and Eric Hinsky will come to the plate trying to get him around.
Big night for Jack.
Wilson with 3 hits, 3 for 3, also intentionally walked. Six for 11 in the series. And now Hinsky. He will take strike 1.
Again, the Indians playing the outfield deep, trying to cut off any doubles, which does open up a little acreage in front of each of the 3 outfielders.
Hinsky is 7 for 21 as a pinch hitter. Oh, and 2. Hinsky has faced Hergis once before, and he hit a home run off it. Solo home run. His only career at bat against Matt Hergis.
Behind here in the count, 0-2.
The 0-2 pitch coming from Hergis. And he drives it to left field. That one is going to get down for a hit. Wilson will stop at second on the winning run in scoring position. Nobody out and 2 on for the Bucks.
Here we go.
The 8th pinch hit of the year for Eric Hinsky.
Here we go again.
Just went where the pitch was thrown. Went with it. That's a veteran hitter right there.
Now the Indians, they're going to have to get together again, because now you've got a bunting situation. Certainly they've got to know what they're going to do, and they've got a lot of speed if Andrew McCutchen is told to put the ball down.
Tony Beasley talking to the rookie playing in just his 20th major league game.
Yeah, you don't want to take a chance on signs now. Go talk to him. The other guys are talking. You get a chance to talk.
Three for 12 in the series. Has his average at .322. And out comes the pitching coach Carl Willis again, and the infield will be drawn in to talk about how to play this. Because not only is McCutchen able to have a sacrifice bunt here, but he's also a threat for a bunt base hit.
Yeah, they got to do everything right. And that old line from the Music Man: you talk, you can bicker. And they're doing a lot of talking right now, and rightfully so. They've got to have their house in order.
A Music Man reference.
Yeah. Robert Preston.
Well, he worked a tying run in here. Started that at bat against Cliff Lee, 0-2. Lee threw him 8 pitches. Harold Hill, right?
Yep.
Trouble in River City for Cleveland right now.
Trouble right here in River City. Starts with a T, and that rhymes with pool, and that stands for pool. Got trouble.
Jack Wilson. He is the run that counts. He represents the winning run at the bottom of the 9th. And McCutchen. They expect him to bunt. He does. He bunts it, and it just curls foul.
And I'll tell you, Martinez right in on top of him.
Victor Martinez better hope that McCutchen doesn't pull the bat back and go that way.
Yeah, and you'd also hope that Andrew McCutchen would bunt the ball down the third baseline.
No balls and 1 strike. Another chance here for McCutchen to get Wilson over to third.
Yeah, third baseman's got to commit and make a play, and that leaves third base unattended. Makes it easy for Jack. He bunts the ball toward Martinez, and the third baseman can hold. They can get a force play. Martinez just going to be crashing on him. Here he comes. Wheel play.
And he takes high, and Wilson down to third. He's safe.
Jack Wilson followed the shortstop over, slid in back of him. Tough play for the shortstop because he's on the move looking for the baseball, the bag, and Jack Wilson. Great play by Jack. Great play. Here he comes. Jack's right with him. Going back of him, he's got to turn around and find you.
Well, who would recognize the wheel play better than a shortstop himself? And Wilson, a heady piece of base running. And now the infield is in. A 1-1 count on McCutchen. One and two. And the second baseman, Barfield, was a couple of steps in front of Hinske. There was nobody covering second. And had Hinske broke a little bit earlier, realizing what Wilson was doing, he might have had second too.
Well, here we go. Showtime. This is your ball game.
That total for the Indians, 5 losses in the last at bat. Third most in the major leagues this year.
Well, their outfielders have to play in short enough where they can still make a throw if they catch it. Ball game.
It's a walk-off winner for McCutchen, and the Pirates win it 3-2. The first walk-off hit of what is to be a great career for Andrew McCutchen. The rookie in his 20th major league game wins it for the Bucks.
They're going to take him all the way to the Allegheny River.
Don't hurt him. First walk-off victory of the season for the Pirates. They take 2 of 3 from the Tribe.
What a baseball game in front of 30,000 people. This is the way you want it to happen. They're going to be happy walking across that Clemente Bridge tonight. Great ball game, great win. And the Pirates beat another top-notch pitcher. Not him personally, but he got the start. The Pirates got the win.
Well, Cleveland, thanks for coming. Don't forget to turn off the lights and lock the door on your way out. Jack Wilson, a leadoff single, scores the game winner on a walk-off base hit by Andrew McCutchen. And for this young team, an exciting victory, 2 in a row now. And they're raising that flag out in center field.
Yeah, what a job by Jack Wilson. What a great play.